takes time. Hey, it takes time.
So it's 6:30 in the morning. Linda, the amazing Linda, who's making this all happen and driving me around like crazy and actually smiling doing it. We're at a place called One Tree Hill. I'll show you during the daytime, but it's actually like gated and you can't even get up there. So we're lined up in queue, learning my New Zealand terms, before we can get in to even go to the Toastmaster meeting. So it's pitch black. There are runners. Hello. Tally-ho. Oh, sorry, that's England. Just a different experience. I've never been to a Toastmaster club where you have to sit in the dark while you're waiting to get in. Interesting. So there's a whole line of people for this event. This is cool. So I'm just walking down, saying hello. I'm pulling a Fripp before the program, saying hello and creating a connection.
In fact, if I were to write a CV myself, I would absolutely, I know. But there's more to do today than sleep, as we have a magnificent meeting ahead of us. But firstly though, some important information.
Okay, well, who better to tell you about New Zealand than an Australian? Well, ex-Australian. New Zealand is just better than Australia because we don't have snakes and spiders other than what we elect.
Rugby is a game that we revere, and last year we were the World Cup winners.
When you go up and down the motorway, you think, oh, exit 463, that is really unusual. 463 means the number of Ks from Cape Reinga.
Sweet ass is with one S.
Darren, a flat white is the best coffee you can have.
Free pronounce athletes: John Walker, Rod Dixon, Peter Snell. Dare I say any more?
I think the most amusing part about this place we're in, it's One Tree Hill Domain. It's called One Tree Hill because it used to have three trees on it until they cut two of them down, then they cut another one down, so now it has no trees, but still called One Tree Hill.
Thank you.
New Zealand is renowned for having several million sheep, which you may have heard, although you'll see some in Cornwall Park, you won't see many around Auckland. You'll need to get down to the South Island, and then there are thousands of sheep.
The silver fern, a native of our, a symbol of our native land, a native bush with a silver side underneath and a green side on top, a symbol of all our sports teams, specifically the All Blacks.
New Zealand, we can be a stroppy little country, a little bit difficult. Not only was a New Zealander the first person to split the atom, then we need to annoy the Americans by declaring ourselves nuclear free.
We're also the first country to see the light every new day, so welcome to being a gift world.
Darren, dynamic, bungee jumping, Queenstown. Take yourself down to Queenstown, strap your ankles up with a big long rubber band and jump off the bridge into the river. See how that makes you feel.
Have you ever stayed down too long? After 4 years of business school, I went out and I went for the American dream. These are the matriarchs of the AM Toastmaster Club. This is Make It Happen Merle.
No, I don't belong to AM.
Oh, you don't?
No.
You're still a matriarch in the area, though, right?
No, we've both been in Toastmasters, what, nearly 29 years.
And here's Ellen, who's been in Toastmasters for a long time too.
And a past district governor as well.
Yeah,
Thank you for your service to Toastmasters.
Oh, thank you.
Most people have no idea how much work and effort and how much crap you have to pull up
And stuff.
And stuff.
That's what Patricia.
You're a past district governor as well?
Yes.
This is One Tree Hill, but that's not actually a tree. That's a monument to the tree. Beautiful. Sheep. Bah. Linda and I on the top of One Tree Mountain?
One Tree Hill.
One Tree Hill.
Yep.
Not quite a mountain. Hill. One Tree Hill. And there's the sky tower that I went up on the other day. Right in the city, near the hotel. And what's the island?
That big cone is Rangitoto.
Rangitoto.
Yes.
And that's a dormant volcano, not
Correct.
extinct.
Yep.
Dormant. Wow. That's actually Mount Eden. One of my assistants' name is Eden.
Oh.
Seven volcanoes. The biggest threat here in New Zealand. But you haven't had one.
Biggest threat in Auckland. We haven't had one rumble, no.
No. There's sheep. More sheep. Hannah Samuel, who I met in Singapore.
Yes.
At the
HR Summit?
HR Summit.
That's
yes,
right.
that's right. Because you weren't at the other one.
What was the other one? APPS.
Anyway, she's just the ball of energy. She just doesn't stop. Always happy, always positive. Just gonna bottle her up. And that's a product. But anyway, say hello to everyone in the US.
Look, just a pleasure to be in Darren's company, gotta say. So, hello. Love to all.
I was in Auckland, New Zealand, and I had one evening free before I head to Gold Coast tomorrow, so I checked out the Toastmasters website. I saw all the clubs in Auckland that met on Wednesday night, and I emailed, this was the closest one to where I was, and Mark is the president. Mark, nice to meet you. Thanks for having me here.
It's a pleasure. Nice to be here.
Very cool. And Mark took me up on it. Last minute notice is just yesterday, and here I am. So thanks for opening up your club, and we'll have some fun.
We had to drop all our tools, but it's a rare occasion to get a world-class speaker at a little humble club, so looking forward to it.
Very cool. Thank you very much. Let's have some fun. Here I am at the club. They have a club resource, and check out what it is. Wow. I'm famous, I think. From the Speaking Secrets of the Champions. How cool is that? They have a club library. Do you have a club library? So while they're on coffee, I have to tell you that this club has a very cool habit. That they actually record the speakers. I love that. More clubs should do that. That they got this little camera and they record each of the speakers so they can take home the video and study that. This club's speakers will grow faster because they're recording themselves. It will be painful, but it's worth it. Are you more concerned about your pain or about helping people and about your growth? So I think it is so cool that this club does recording of the speakers. How cool is that? They even have my book. My book is in New Zealand. How cool is that?
Thank you very much.
Thank you for showing me.
Yeah.